So we have to talk about what's going on in Minnesota. Is ICE is basically terrorizing the local neighborhoods. It says Minneapolis, Minnesota is under Trump regime occupation. At least 3,000 regime forces are terrorizing the city, raiding homes door to door without warrants, and grabbing people and children off the street based on their skin color. No sign of the Minnesota National Guard. And I'm wondering if we're indeed going to call the National Guard into Minnesota and other states to basically protect the local populace from Trump's ICE. I want to show you guys what's going on because this is escalating very quickly, and honestly, it's way worse than I even thought it was. Because they just killed Renee Good, and now apparently going door to door. This is more. This is local news in Minnesota. And this person writes, my local Minnesota news just aired this. Unreal crazy times. Let's watch together here.
Reminder of your rights if ICE does come to your door. According to the city, ICE needs a judge-signed warrant with your name and address to come inside. Also, you can ask the agent to show you the warrant through the window or under the door. And if there is not a valid warrant, you have the right to keep your door closed. We have more on this and the differences between a judicial and immigration warrant on our website at fox9.com.
So I'll read through this. This is local news in Minnesota. ICE at your door, your rights. Reminders from the city of Minneapolis. Judge signed warrant. Asked to see the warrant through the window under the door. Right to keep the door closed if no valid warrant. Another person, right? This is Eddie. Again, this is all local Minnesota. I really don't think people know the scope of what is happening in Minnesota right now. ICE is going door to door in St. Paul, asking people if they have Hmong or Asian neighbors. The Oglala Sioux tribe is unable to locate 4 native men that ICE abducted in Minneapolis. A disabled autistic woman was pulled out of her car by ICE agents when she was driving to her doctor's appointment. A queer former U.S. Marine was attacked by ICE while protesting at the Whipple building. They said, quote, "Don't you see what we did to the other lesbian person?" As of last night, another 1,000 ICE agents are being deployed. This person writes, women in St. Paul, Minnesota talks about the schools in her neighborhood. Let's see what she has to say. It's a local mom.
So I live in St. Paul and I'm on my way to work, and there's so many schools, like the high schools and the grade schools and Spanish immersion school especially, just has parents standing outside just recording the traffic. And I have 4 kids, and I opened Facebook this morning to see your neighborhood page, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to, I hope you can understand me, I'll put captions on. But I opened up the neighborhood page just to make sure overnight nothing crazy happened, right? And it's just all these moms that are afraid to like send their kids to school, and teachers and district members that are commenting and saying like, you know, we'll support whatever decision you make, and if you have to keep your kids' school for a week or a month, like we'll support it. And I just like, I can't. How is this reality? I don't understand how this is reality. Anyway, I just wanted people to know what's happening here. Okay.
And that's sort of a common theme you'll hear through all this stuff is like, how is this even happening? How is this reality? But I do want you to know that people are pushing back. This is Tammy Duckworth. She says, 0 accountability, 0 remorse, just a disgusting rant doubling down on defending ICE after an agent killed a mom in cold blood. ICE did not make Chicago safer. It is not making Minnesota safer, right? And that's referring to Trump. He's just going to say you're all a bunch of bad people and prisoners and addicts, etc., right? You know, the stuff that Trump always says. Ro Khan is also pushing for the prosecution and arrest of the ICE agent in the killing. I can watch a little bit here.
It was a shameful act to kill a 37-year-old mom, leaving her 6-year-old boy an orphan. That's why I have called for the arrest and prosecution of that ICE agent. ICE has gone rogue. We need accountability. Jasmine Crockett and I have a bill to ensure that ICE agents wear body cameras, don't have masks, have visible identification, and make sure that they have oversight from the Justice Department.
So you get the idea. But I mean, all these things seem pretty reasonable to me, right? So I should have body cams, not wear face masks, visible identification. There should be some oversight. And when you read details of this stuff, and there's a lot coming out today, this is Laura Didid. She says, a few months ago, ICE hired me. I didn't sign and submit any paperwork. I'm real outspoken about the opinion of the Trump administration, and I am extremely Googleable. And yet there it was in plain English, welcome to ICE, my latest for Slate. And if you want to read this, I read through the whole thing, but it said, if you want to read it, it's called, You've Heard About Who ICE is Recruiting. The Truth is Far Worse. I'm Proof. But basically she describes the process of, going into the ICE recruiting. Not that many people show up for these things because, I mean, just to be frank, not many people are willing to do this stuff. And then when they go in to describe like what the job would be, a lot of people actually leave at the application place, and then evidently they skip over much of the process they're supposed to be following, and then they'll just hire effectively, it seems like, anyone. But we'll see. If you take a look at this, there's a lot to go over. This also says, local person, the ICE surge in Twin Cities is impacting all of us who call Minnesota home, not just those who live in Minneapolis. By the end of the operation, you'll be hard-pressed to find anyone in the greater MSP who doesn't have a first-degree connection to somebody directly harassed, intimidated, or questioned by ICE. My 7th grade daughter's volleyball team, based in the suburb 25 miles away from Minneapolis, was processing news tonight that the grandmother of one of their teammates was questioned today by federal officers at a random spot check at her workplace, so going to people's work. The grandmother is an immigrant and American citizen who's been here for decades. She had her passport with her as a precaution, so I guess people have to take their passport with her now, and was able to show it to officers who left her alone. These suburban 13-year-olds are on Snapchat tonight asking each other, why is government coming after so hard, after so-and-so's grandma? And it's a question that will remain with them for the rest of their lives. This type of conversation is happening all across all of our youth in the MSP, urban, suburban, and exurban, and it's going to impact the state and our country long after this operation has ended. I hold out hope that will impact our future for better for our kids, bear witness to the ramifications of hyperpolarization and political tribalism in their neighborhoods, and strive as young adults to disrupt this societal trajectory for the sake of the generations to follow. Keep spreading hope, Minnesota. I truly believe our best days are yet to come, onwards and upwards. And it's a good message to spread. I know we that's why I try to show you, one, what's going on, so we should all be really concerned at what's happening, and two, show that people are pushing back against this crazy crap that Trump is doing, and then also showed you like where these people come from, the application process. There's very minimal training, etc. We're going to get a lot more. This person has a abolish ICE sign. You can see this. So that was in Tennessee. Just want to make sure you guys know that you're not alone. This is Joe Rogan. He even calls out this stuff. Have a listen to this.
That woman was shot. I think, unfortunately, well, everything's unfortunate about it, right? But one of the real problems is now ICE are villains, and now people are looking at them like murderous military people that are on the streets of our city, and they're masked up, which is also a problem, right? Because if you get arrested by a cop, you're allowed to ask the cop, what is your name and badge number? And you could film that cop. If you get arrested by an ICE agent, you have no such right. They're wearing a mask. They don't have to. That's a problem. That's a problem on our city streets, right? Because you could also pretend to be an ICE agent.
Right.
So I saw this terrible story about this family that was killed where these guys pretended to be a UPS driver. And they showed up and they made their way into the house and killed people because they were dressed up as a UPS driver. If you could pretend to be a UPS driver, for sure you could pretend to be an ICE agent, especially since they're completely anonymous. So think about how many people can get arrested or robbed or by criminals, right? Because you could just have people pretending they're like, it's not like it's impossible to fake their logo, right? It's pretty easy. It just says ICE. You know, how hard is that? You could easily imagine armed gangs pretending to be ICE agents robbing people.
And that's Joe Rogan calling this stuff out. I also want to show you this. This is more just local people's experience of what's going on. This is, I think, a gas station. It says half a dozen ICE agents grab, manhandle, kick, and kneel on a guy for several minutes before he goes completely limp. Nobody checks for a pulse, no attempt to resuscitate. Are they licensed to kill now? And it's basically like a George Floyd kind of situation. And look at all the people that they have there. A lot of things what they're doing with ICE is actually purposely showing this stuff to intimidate people, right? But they bring all these people. This is more, and I know it's a lot to go through, but I just want you to see, like, it's like I said, it's way worse than I even thought it was. Clash between feds and protesters only block away from the shooting scene south of Minneapolis. You see a woman restrained and taken into custody after several flashbangs and pepper spray balls were deployed. Sources say the agents were conducting targeted enforcement nearby when they were surrounded and chaos ensued. Target employees detained by federal officers were U.S. citizens, the legislator says. So I guess they're going to targets now and just arresting employees. They're going to claim, and this is, I'll play a little bit here.
No, don't take my phone. Hey, they got my phone.
Where is the paperwork for that?
Where's the?
They do it on target. They do it on target.
Hey, don't. Stand up.
Where are their forms?
Hey, don't work here.
Anybody else going to ask where the forms are? You guys don't have the right.
What's your name? What's your name?
Jonathan Aguilar Garcia. I'm literally a U.S. citizen.
Give us your phone number.
U.S. citizen.
Why are you kidnapping our citizens? Why are you?
And when you read the description, it says, this is from Homeland Security. They say this individual was arrested for assaulting federal law enforcement officers under 18 USC 111, assaulting, resisting, impeding, whatever. The other description is ICE grabbed a 17-year-old Target worker at his job. Despite him saying he's a U.S. citizen, after confirming he was, they dumped him in a Walmart lot 8 minutes away. Bystanders found him sobbing and bleeding. They slammed me on the ground. This is later than when they released him. You can listen to this.
This guy right here, they let him out of the vehicle. They tortured him. This guy? This guy right here, yeah. Tortured. You okay, man? No, I'm not okay. Bro, it's crazy. My man's bleeding. They slammed me on the ground. We got to be able to call somebody. This is ridiculous. You got family around? You got somebody here, man? Come on, we in here. Come on, man. You work here, don't you? No, I work at Target. You work, bro? Come on, bro. It's okay. That is so crazy. Man, slam this man up in the parking lot. Torture this guy.
They're basically just harassing people based on the way that you look and to start asking you for papers and such. So that's what's going on. I know it's upsetting to go through all this stuff, but I think it's really important to know what's happening and know that people are standing up. So that's my thoughts on this. I'd like to hear yours, and I'll catch you in the next video.